Hey everybody, back with another video. I've already did two videos on getting these two Commodore 64s working, but I figured I wanted to order some parts. I got a cap kit from console5.com, and he sent, what else did he send here? I got some heat sinks from there. I think these are a good size for it. I got some big ones and some smaller ones, and then I also got some 28-pin ones and some thermal conductive adhesive. So I figured in this video we would test some of the caps on both Commodores with my ESR meter. I actually have two ESR meters. One is that MESR 100, and it's not great, but it works, especially if you're doing comparisons to caps. And then I also have this EDS, Electronic Designs. The only issue with this is that the tweezers, it's really made for radial caps testing, not axial, because you can't really get the tweezers on here. On the axials, you have, like, it's almost like you're breaking them by spreading them apart that way. So let's put it on the tripod and test some caps. All right, we're going to turn on our meter here. And for some people, I've done this a ton of times on the arcade stuff, but what's the first thing you have to do is connect your leads together. The one thing I don't like about this meter is these leads are not great. But when you do a test and you do a comparison, it's not that bad. So what we want to do is zero it out. There we go. And this is the 1000 microfarad cap. Damn, I guess I'll just hold it like that. So that is 0.5. I'm going to write some of this down. By the way, these are the power filtering capacitors. So these capacitors are either filtering, I think the 9 volt, the 12 volt, the 5 volt that's coming from here, and I think the 9 volt DC as well. So 1000 microfarad is 0.55. And it says, you know, it's a good cap if it's less than 200 microfarads. That's what it says on the screen there. If you can see that right there. But that's not, you know, I've seen a lot worse. I mean, but it's not great, obviously. This is the 2200 cap, 0.32. 0.32, and then the 470 microfarad cap is probably okay, 0.13 for the 470. All right, so I'm going to pause, and what we're going to do is test some of the caps. Some of the new caps that Console 5 sent, which the reason I did was like $6. I mean, I have a ton of capacitors actually. That the only ones I didn't have, I think, were the 2200 style right there. But I just ordered the cap because it was easier, and I was going to order stuff from them anyway. But we'll test this real quick. This is, excuse me. This is a 2200. And see, your readings will vary a little bit. So this 2200 is reading 0.14, which is, you know, still not great for a 1000 or a 2200 microfarad cap in theory, right? But I'm going to keep going and show you a couple more things here. Whoops. And this is 1000 microfarads. .167. So all of these are better. The other one that we measured was 0.55 on the ESR. This one right here. So this one is the worst of the bunch. And I think we had one more. One more of the big ones anyway. I'm going to replace them all, but I just figured it'd be interesting. I like seeing what the differences are. Alright, and this one is the 470. Yeah, 470 is 0.10. Alright, so I have that all written down, and now I'm going to test them in a slightly different way. Be right back. Alright, so the other way you can test with this ESR meter is just sticking the leads, the capacitor leads, in this connector area. But the first thing we need to do is do it with a bare wire. Yeah, because you can see it's reading negative 0.14, so we want to zero that out. Alright. And now we can put in these caps without the leads and see what a big difference it's going to be. This is the 2200 one. .03. And I think that is definitely a much better way to read the capacitors. Obviously you can't do it in circuit this way with the capacitor leads, but 0.03 is what this one reads. I'm going to write that down. I'll be right back. Okay, this one is the 1000 microfarad, 0.57, 0.53, 0.05, sorry, 0.05. And then we'll do the 470. I'm not going to do this to all of them. I just want to do a comparison so we can see it real quick. 0.04. Alright, so that's what I'm saying is, like, when you're using the leads, it's really not a great way for measuring the ESR in circuit, because the leads are adding, you know, some type of resistance or something that's, you know, not making the reading accurate, etc., or as accurate as it could be. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the motherboard from the case. That's going to take me a second. I have to remove some screws and stuff. I have to desolder. I might show some of this, we'll see. But we're definitely going to recap this board, so be right back. Maybe I'll set it on the tripod and then just do a speed up on it. Alright, here we go. that would have turned out. I actually haven't soldered. I put the shield, the RF shield, like, you know, I put the RF shield back on, but I haven't soldered it in. And a lot of people just throw that RF shield away, but I figured I'd try to keep it original. The one thing that was interesting is this cap kit. I have an extra, this is a 10 microfarad. There we go, 10 microfarad, 50 volts. This one is 2.2. And then this thing, I don't know where this goes. I'm gonna actually have to look it up what it is. 472. So there's 3 caps that I wasn't able to replace, and the other thing is I took off the shield for the RF modulator, and there's 3 caps in here as well, and these caps weren't included. I think you would have to take off the whole RF modulator. Maybe most people don't replace these. I mean, the most important ones are really these caps here, this cap here, which is on the 5 volt side, anything that's on the 5 volts basically, and these power filtering capacitors there, that's the most important. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I don't know what those caps do, so I figured let's break out the ESR meter. And we'll test these real quick. Where is my wire at? And put in my test wire here to zero it out. All right, and this is the 2200 cap. If I can even get it in there. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in there. Yeah, the leads are too short probably. Yeah, that sucks. Alright, it's the next day, but I was able to mess around and get one of these axial caps in there. And I don't know which one this is. It says 0.458. 0.458, and that is 1,000 microfarad cap, and we had 0.05 on the new one, so definitely lower ESR. I could probably do the capacitance test as well with my multimeter. Should I do that? Maybe I'll do that. Let me come right back. I'll do a capacitance test. Okay, so the ESR obviously wasn't great, but let's make a capacitance measurement. Here I have my meter. This is 1,000 microfarads capacitor. And it's reading 727 microfarads. 725, so out of 1,000, is that 25%? I don't know. I don't think that's great. This is 2200 microfarad. (2200 microfarad cap is reading 3.38 millifarads. That's definitely, is that right? Well, it's higher. I guess it could be, yeah, that might be 2.2 would be the equivalent. I think that's bad. And I don't know what I did with the other one. Alright, I figured I'd do it one more time real quick. So yeah, the 3.3 is the equivalent of 3,300 microfarads. supposed to be a 2200 cap here. It's taking a while to charge too, by the way. There we go. 3.35, basically 4. So that's 3,300 microfarads, which is more than 30% off. And then you can measure these capacitance in circuit, probably because it's not really a complex circuit. There might not be something else in there. But that's the 1000. See if you guys can see that. This is a 1000 microfarad cap. This is the one I just put in. And it's 1008, so it's definitely, or 1011. I mean, it's almost dead on. This is the 2200. And again, it's almost dead on, 2144. And this is a 470 microfarad cap. So all of those were out of spec. I mean, the rating definitely changed on them. So they might have had a somewhat decent ESR, but the capacitance values definitely had changed. So it was good to get those replaced. I still need to come back and figure out what these other caps are for. That's what I'll do next. All right, back the following day, I did look up the caps and stuff, and this one here, this 2.2 50 volt cap, that was for the other brand, other version of the motherboard. See if you guys can see that. This is 250425. It only has 6 caps for this motherboard. So that cap right there was just extra for the other type of kit. So there's one cap here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So those are the 6 caps. Only 6 caps for the 250425. And the when I went on the website for wherever I ordered these from, I can't remember. I highlighted it earlier in the video, but it specifically says it does not include the caps to the RF modulator section. But I do have these caps in stock, so I figured I'll remove that and recap that since I already have it out. This other small cap here is for, let's see, I don't know what the rating is, like maybe 47 nanofarads or so. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's for over here at C, I think it's C38. And it's to restore the a key function of the restore key. I guess this makes it a little bit harder to press. Like when you press the restore button, this version of the cap makes it like you have to really press and hold it. The restore key. This key here, this cap here restores the restore function to like a soft key press. So I think this is a mod that a lot of people do, is replace C38 with this cap here. So I'm going to do that as well since it included it. So let me go ahead. Oh, the other thing I did is I did put some heat sinks on the VIC chip, the PLA, the SID, and the CPU. So I put some heat sinks on those, and let's recap that RF modulator as well as replace this cap here. I think it's C38. I'm going to double check. Alright, so we'll flip it over and I'll highlight this real quick. If you can see with the glare, there's these little metal tabs that you have to bend, I think, right here. This one, one there, and one there. So I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs, and then probably have to desolder this point here, this, and that, I believe. So probably 4 desoldering points as well that are directly across from there. So I will try to do this on camera. Let's see, I'm working in a little bad spot here. Let's see if I can get this out of there. Seems like it wants to come out. Oh, you know what? I think these right here, I have to desolder these pins right here as well. These 4 little pins right there. I can't really see with the camera on. Let me pause and I'll be right back when I get it out. I think it's all of those are done. Alright, it took a little bit. I had to use some flux, and it was definitely those 4 pins there. So I got the RF modulator off, and you can see the spot right there where it goes. So there's like 8 pins that connect the RF modulator down to the main motherboard. And I think this should just pop off here. There we go. And now we can get to the caps. So I don't think I'm going to film replacing the caps. I'm just going to desolder these 3 caps and replace them with the same size, and then put this thing back in. That is all I'm going to do. Alright, I'll be right back. Is there anything else? Yeah, that's it. Alright, I got the new caps in there. I got to tell you, it was kind of a pain in the butt because there's so many little, hard to tell where the actual leads are. So I had to desolder something and then look back over it with a microscope, you know what I mean, to check everything, all the solder connections were good. So anyway, freshly recapped. Don't know if it's worth it or not, but I'll put it back in. And actually I gotta put the cover back on, and it just pops on like this. There we go. And I cleaned up the some of the flux on this thing too. So put this back in, and it'll be all recapped. Be right back. All right, I got everything back together. Put the lid back on. Put the, what do you call this? RF shield, I guess, back on, even with the cardboard. I know a lot of people don't do that, but since that's the way it was, that's the way I'm keeping it. And then I'm just going to use my desoldering iron and some solder to tack that heat shield to ground and stuff. So, like, let's see, where can I go? Like right here. There's a big, I mean, with a pad that big. Yeah, that should work. Actually, I'm just going to put a little less on it there. Just enough to tack it on. And then I'm going to put it back in. So I will do that and put it back in the case. Alright, it's been a while. I got distracted with a couple other projects, but anyway, I wanted to wrap up this video. I got the board back in. You know, my caps are replaced, my heat shield's back on, and let's see, I think I already mentioned that the cap kit only, for this board type, it's only these 3 right here. This one, I did replace the caps in that, and 1 cap over here. So it's really only 5 caps on this thing, and took me longer than I needed it to. So now is the time to test it out. Let me pause and turn the lights out and focus this on truth here. At least with, there's my kickman. Get my joystick plugged in. Losing focus a little bit. There we go. I actually have a Kickman arcade game that I need to get working, but obviously, and which has a what does it have? It has a roller, or not a roller, trackball instead of a joystick. Oh. So it's a success. I'll wrap up this video, and there's the Commodore 64, and then I'll post the next video. I've already been messing with a few other ones, so until next time, guys, some more C64s. I am working on another EEPROM programmer as well, but until next time.